Welcome to this thing of ours. It is exactly 12:25 in the morning, Wednesday morning, ladies and germs, Wednesday morning. It is some kind of fun right here. I don't even know where to begin, but as you can tell from most people, they really don't get what's going on in the world, but we do, and we have to be very kind. But President Trump is waking up. As are you, apparently, good friend. President Trump is waking up because for the first time, he is realizing that all of those folks, all of those people who told him, hey, we're with you, don't worry, regime change Iran, he realizes he has been royally effed because that is the opening, that is the term of art. We have been saying for the longest time, Mr. President, you are going to be cheated. You are going to be hurt, not by the enemy, but your enemy will be your friends, those people that you believe to be telling the truth, Mr. President. Now, for the longest time, we have told you that you have abandoned America first. We don't know why, but we want to welcome you back with open arms, my friend. Welcome back, sir. Welcome back. You can always tell what people don't know by the size and the style of their lapel pin. I tell people this and they think I'm kind of kidding. I'm dead serious. People don't understand this. Mr. President, you have been finally, you have been just browbeaten, mistreated by everybody you can imagine at levels that, and the first is the group of people who wanted to lure you into the fight. Bibi Netanyahu played you like a fiddle, Mr. President. You know it and I know it. Mr. President, he played you like a fiddle. Do you grasp this? Do you understand what happened? Let me see if I can make this a little bit. Do I have a better, maybe no. Let me see if I can do this. That looks a little bit better, sort of. Maybe, nah, so let's just do this. We'll just zoom in here. You have been played, sir. Played like a chump. Played in areas and played for reasons that just I don't get it, sir. I don't understand how this thing works. I don't understand how you possibly could have been duped. You're such a smart man, and yet you have been, well, we told you about this. Let me move this over here. I don't like the style of this. Let me see. Maybe a little bit better. There we go. Yeah, that's good. You get a little bit of, the lighting is very strange, very odd. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. Got to change it. There we go. More of a, kind of a different look. Yeah, there we go. There we go. That's the ticket. So, Mr. President, you have been played by everyone. Okay? You have been playing by everyone. And I'm telling you right now, as I'm speaking, most people, sir, around your group are the ones who are going to be your Judas. Those individuals, those folks, Fox News, Mark Levin, Ben Shapiro, and anybody, you can always look and see by the type and style of whatever they have in their lapel pin. That tells you what they don't understand. You can always say, anybody who says this, it's like wearing, it's like NASCAR. They kind of wear the brand for this. And Mr. President, remember, there are people who just don't get it, sir. You don't have to get everything, but you have been played like a chump. And he realizes it. When he uses the word fucking around, I'm sorry he said it. Now he got it. And sir, the people who are really, and I'll leave it at effing around with you, are people in your group. You know who people are getting tired of? Caroline Levitt. Oh, yeah. Oh, I think she's great. No. You think she's great because you like quick comebacks. Keep an eye on her. Caroline Levitt, remember I'm telling you this. It's going to be like everybody else. She's a little girl who wants to take pictures of working out, and yeah. But they're going to get to her. Susie Wise. I don't know know about this. I don't know. I'm not sure who's who. The people who have been the best so far, and I cannot express this to you any clearer than, pardon the lights off of my... By the way, never get the anti-glare glasses. Never, because they crack. The coating will crack. It's a horrible thing. But Alex Jones has been better than anything you can imagine. Alex Jones has been, oh my God, just... Have you heard a fellow named Nick Fuentes? You ever heard him? Now, I don't know what his past is. I don't know what he said in the past. But people are saying, oh, no, he's no good. Well, why is he no good? Well, he's a racist. Okay, what that means to me, go ahead and check it out. If they say he's a bad guy because he said something, maybe he was racist, I don't know. But he has been involved in some discussion with Alex that has been absolutely, positively spot on. Absolutely, positively spot on. Here are some headlines from today's InfoWars. And Alex has never looked better. Alex has never looked better, sounded better. President Trump once again pulled off the unthinkable and snatched victory from the jaws of defeat, expertly averting a full-scale U.S. intervention in the Israel-Iran war, while simultaneously negotiating a peace treaty in the process. However, disgusting neocon hawks everywhere are big mad. He's absolutely correct. The neocons and the fools and the bots. This is according to Alex's great piece. Meanwhile, Israel propagandists upset about Trump's ceasefire plan brand Steve Bannon, Tucker Carlson, General Flynn, Alex Jones, and others as untrusty traitors to America. You know you're good when somebody blasts you. I can ask somebody. I can say, wait a minute, there he is. Awake from the dead. What are you doing up here, my friend? Everybody's favorite, a good friend from parts unknown, weight unknown. There he is, everybody. There's Sparky. Sparko says, like when Hogans Heroes fooled Colonel Klink into believing World War II was over, using fake newspapers, broadcasts, etc. President Trump's friends, advisors, and Fox News misled Trump about everything. Sparky, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. Sparky, let me ask you a question. If tomorrow, sir, Bibi, and by the way, thank you for your kindness. If tomorrow Bibi Netanyahu came along and said the following, Mr. President, you have to think about America first, and you have to recognize the fact, Mr. President, that our interests are not necessarily the same. And while we recognize your commitment to the state of Israel, you must understand, Mr. President, that you cannot get involved in a long-scale war here in the Middle East. Sparky, if Bibi Netanyahu said this, would you agree with him? Would you say, yep? That's a litmus test. If Bibi Netanyahu speaks the truth, agree with him. My goal is not to be anti-Bibi, anti-Israel, pro or anti-Russian. That's not it. It's the information. If we're at Yankee Stadium and I'm sitting with a Red Sox fan, and I hate the Red Sox because the Red Sox hate the Yankees, and it's the bottom of the ninth and it's 24-0 Boston. It's the bottom of the ninth, 3-2, 1 out, that's it. Is it safe to say game's over? Yes. What if the person saying that is a Boston Red Sox fan? They're right. So begin what we're saying is, my friends, we start off with the premise that we do not care who says what. We don't care about who speaks the truth. We don't care. It means nothing to us. We don't care who is speaking the truth. I'm here at a station. See this right here? See all these buttons and all this? This is the mixing board. See that? Okay, good. Now, what I do is I'm like a pilot, and I'm reading the information. I'm reading the data. I don't care who made it, but if they're saying we have a tailwind, we got weather coming up, there's a storm, we're out of gas, that's all I care about. I don't care who said what. You can argue about the Zionists till the cow comes home, and that's a different issue. Mr. President, as your advisor, sir, you are going to be sucked up into this Iranian blood feud. Get out. Get out. Don't fall for this. I don't know who it is. Is it Jared Kushner? Is it AIPAC? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Could be. People love this. I don't care about that. I was talking with a colleague of mine about, I said, this guy, Zoran Mamdani, is going to win the mayor of New York. And New York will survive. New York will survive, but it will be this level of terror. Oh my God, it's awful. We went through a terror before. And my colleague was saying, you don't, oh, I have, she says, I think he has a very good chance to win. I'm saying, no, he's not going to, he's going to win. No, I think the Republicans say, no, you want that to be. You want that to be. You see, we make up things. I was listening to Alex Jones before, and Alex Jones was talking about methylene blue. Now, I don't really know what methylene blue does. I know it's been around for a long time, but all of a sudden, people are creating, they're saying the mitochondria, you see, the mitochondria are the energy centers of the cell. And the mitochondria prevents the hydrogen and the antioxidant. And what it does is it fortifies and they say these things just for the sense. Sparky says, I use the Hogans Heroes example because President Trump, being of the boomer TV generation, would remember that episode. So maybe things would click with him. You know, I appreciate that. I don't know if he, and again, Sparky, I appreciate that. I don't know if he understands, if he gets it. I don't know. Do you think President Trump is do you think he's smart? Yeah, he's smart. He's smart. Is he wise? I don't know that. Is he wise? Remember the Japanese soldier who didn't know the war was over? Remember that? Remember this fellow? This is my favorite. This is one of those people that I think about. And his name was Hiro, reminds me of Hiro Matsuda. Anybody remembers NWA from Tampa? Hiro Matsuda, Duke Kiyomaka. Hiro Onoda. He was an Imperial Japanese Army intelligence officer, and he was deployed to the Philippines. And he had to be told officially that the war was over. You hear that? He didn't understand it. There are people who don't even know not only that the war is not over, they don't even know the war has begun. What was the episode of Hogans Heroes where they convinced Colonel Klink that the war was over by using fake news, paper accounts, and headlines? ChatGPT. ChatGPT says 1001, 1002, boom, that's it. The episode you're referring to is War Takes a Holiday, Season 3, Episode 21. German officers Klink, Hochstetter, and Schultz see the newspapers and announce that the war is over. Hogan feigns surprise and uncertainty, but ultimately uses the chaos to secure the release of Allied prisoners. A classic example of psychological warfare and comedic deception, shows Hogan exploiting enemy trust in official sources. We know what's going on. Sparko, I know what's going on. I know what's going on. Some things I really don't. I can't. One time I was watching the George Brett Pine Tar Billy Martin episode. They say Billy Martin knew the rules of baseball. He might not have been the best baseball player, but he knew baseball better than anybody. And he knew to make sure that they measure that bat after the home run. And they looked at where the pine tar came up and they used the 18 inches and blah, blah, blah. Okay? Genius. That's what we do. I have been told off the bat, Bibi Netanyahu, for whatever reason, and Sparky, you and I might, maybe you know more about this than I don't know what his story is. The official story is that Israel is under attack. I agree. Israel is surrounded by enemies. I agree. And you can develop the narrative you want, but that Israel is facing an existential threat, and that Iran is that once Iran gets a nuclear weapon, it will do everything in its power to destroy. They will detonate. The first thing you do with a bomb, you get it, and they're going to say that's it, and we're all blowing up. And within 30 seconds, Iran is an ashtray. This is the story. And you're told this. And you're told to believe this. You're told they cannot get a nuclear bomb. And they're told for 20 years this. You're being told this. And they have a red line. And here's a red line. And it's Hogans Heroes. They flood the world with newspapers saying this is the account. And President Trump goes along with it. And whether it's AIPAC, whether it's the lobby, whatever. You can argue all you want. All I know is, Mr. President, you can't do this. You cannot do this. It is the most important thing in the world. President Trump announces the U.S. does not back a regime change. And he is absolutely going crazy. I gotta turn this one down. I gotta turn this down. Oops, didn't mean to do that one. Let me go back a little bit. Breaking war, look at this. Israeli agents in Iran slipped letters under the doors of Iranian military officers, threatening to kill their wives and children if they didn't become Mossad agents. Did you see this one? Now you might say, well, that's clever. Saying, okay, maybe clever, but I tell you what, it might be. Be aware of this, Mr. President. This is what's happening, sir. Kind and good sir. This is what's happening. I'm sure you know this, sir. I know. I'm sure you know what's happening. What I'm telling you, you've got to know. We are telling you, good sir. This is what's happening. Let me see here. Where do we have this? Yes. Okay. I'm just making sure we. Okay. Good. I thought we had a. Just checking. Alrighty. And remember, most people who will watch this don't really grasp the notion of this. I mean, they kind of sort of get it, but they really maybe sort of don't. You know what I mean? They'll kind of get it. They like this nonsense. Trump is smart and wise, but he's not going to win a trivia contest anytime soon. He's presented with false premises and lies to act upon. Garbage in, garbage out. 100%, my friend. 100%. I had a friend of mine who was a wonderful man, Catholic priest, one of the smartest people. He truly believed that sexual identity, that gender, that sexual preference could be conditioned away, that you could get people to. So when it comes to 99% of being smart, he's it. But when it comes to this, I don't know. So moving along here, remember, where are you going to get this? How about Mossad slipping things under the door? Did you see? Now others may say, "Oh, this is great. This is fine." Listen, I think it's kind of clever on the part of Mossad. Mossad gets too much credit for things that they do. He knew we'd attack. Israel complains at Trump's comments after Iran's ceasefire falters. Despite last night's big news of a Trump-declared ceasefire, the reality is it was little more than an effort at a pause, and it's increasingly looking like neither side actually signed onto, or at least each side issued confirmation with a lot of conditions, and there wasn't even firm agreement on the first time. So again, let me try reading this in English. Despite last night's big news of a Trump-declared ceasefire, the reality is it was little more than an effort at a pause, and it's increasingly looking like neither side actually signed onto. Or at least each side issued confirmation with a lot of conditions, and there wasn't even firm agreement at the same time. As the U.S. and Qatar brokered ceasefire deadline closed, Israel and Iran kept exchanging lethal blows overnight, with Israel hitting various targets in Iran, killing 9 people in northern Iran, and reportedly assassinating yet another nuclear scientist, while Iran killed at least 4 Israelis in a devastating hit on an apartment tower. At least 8 minutes after midnight in Washington, President Trump used his Truth Social account to announce the ceasefire was in effect and to urge continued compliance. But as of Tuesday morning, Trump's message is one of extreme frustration. His fiery statement to the press just moments before boarding Marine One, including the declaration, "We basically have 2 countries that have been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the F they're doing. You understand that." The warring sides have not heeded Trump's call to immediately halt, and at the very moment the U.S. president had been issued desperate messages and warnings, explosions are still being observed in Israel and Iran. Just after the president addressed the issues, Israel's Channel 12 said IDF warplanes have launched another round of strikes against Tehran. This is also just as Trump issued a new Truth Social demanding that Israel not attack Iran. All planes will turn around and head home, he wrote. Nobody will be hurt as a ceasefire is in effect. A big question remains whether he's bringing real leverage to bear against Israel, or if the latest objections are just to show, to provide political cover for himself for the negative fallout as war persists. But his current, deeply frustrated tone is a reminder of the failures to achieve peace in Ukraine and the past Ukraine-Russia thing. So, here is the bottom line. Is President Trump stupid? No. 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 It may, in the end, have little substantive to make it stick. By the way, there's just so much information here. So the bottom line is this. Mr. President, you can do one of 2 things. One, whatever the reason was, whether it was political, whether it was campaigns, whatever it was, whatever the reason, whether it was AIPAC, again, we always jump on AIPAC, and we love to say Mossad. There's these things we just love to say. Whatever the reason, sir, whatever the reason, you can continue this, or you can say, you know what, enough is enough, we're done. You're going to have to do whatever you want without our help. Because you're not even you don't even care whether you make me look like an idiot. And I will not, who was it, Jack Walters says, and a man in my position cannot be made to look ridiculous. That's the bottom line. We haven't even gotten to Gaza yet, but you have learned a lesson. You cannot trust these people, ladies and gentlemen. And Mr. President, we have been telling you for the longest time. Warren Ocasio, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for that. Mr. President, we're telling you who's going to help you. And if you put your money in the wrong group of people, even though they may have helped you in the past, even though you might have think they're groovy, even though you might have whatever it's worth, we're telling you right now, we told you, Al Sanchez, thank you. We told you this. We told you. Who are we? We're the conspiracy theorists. We're the people that are called racists, homophobes, transgender, transphobes, right-wingers, nationalists, anti-Semites. We've been telling you this. We haven't budged since for a moment. We haven't budged for a moment. Sparky says, when Iran retaliated, they said they'd stop when Israel stopped attacking them. The ceasefire simply depends on whether Israel stops. There was no official ceasefire agreement. Yep. Hell, Sparky, there's no ceasefire in the event of in the Korean War. I was telling somebody who's a father. I said there was no armistice. It was just like a ceasefire. Mr. President, you must understand these things. Mr. President, you're dealing with a mentality here that loves deception. And one of the things which has been, and by the way, this is not about Jews, it's not about Israeli people, but this government loves to talk about deception. Look what we did with the beepers. Look how we have these. We came in and ever since Gideon's sword and the use of how do I say this? The use of different forms of deception. You have a group of people who love deception. Deception. And I think, very frankly, most of us should apply that as well. Most of us should. But if you can't, we've been saying this. And what I've been saying, and Sparky's been saying, and Trump's been saying, and maybe this Nick Fuentes guy, I don't know, Steve Bannon, Tucker Carlson, we've been telling you. And there may be some real anti-Semites. Like I told you before, the Boston Red Sox fan might be correct when he's saying the game's over, you're going to lose. Because he knows the game. He may hate the Yankees, but he's telling you, listen, this is the reality. But see, we don't do that. We love to say and talk about things the way they should be. And we also think that by saying them in unison, sometimes things can happen. And the greatest propaganda arm, maybe, I guess, in the history of the almost like human bots, is then of Fox News, who has done more to mislead people. They are the antithesis to CNN. And by the way, that's not to say everything they say is wrong. But the best guy they had, Tucker Carlson, they got rid of. Why do you think that was? Did we ever find out why they got rid of Tucker Carlson? The best thing, the only reason that I thought people, this is really good. Even Glenn Beck was good for a while. Then he kind of went crazy. He went like full AJ, and I don't know. But the bottom line is simply this. Why do you think that is? Well, so my friends, July the 19th, are you going to come and see me out at the Cutting Room? Tickets are available. You can see all this information right now. Go to my website. Go to lionelmedia.com. I love when you send me a nice and a very kind note. Thank you for that. Thank you for the kind notes. Thank you. Thank you for this. I appreciate that. Sparky says, crafty, smart Alex. Yes, crafty. Sparky, you've been on fire. And lately, everybody, Mearsheimer, Napolitano, McGregor, Scott Ritter, go down the list. It's, I think, and when there's something that's good, I will tell you. Alex Jones has been on fire. On fire. You know what's also been great? RT has been splendid. Splendid. ION, Middle East News, Al Jazeera. All of the things you've been told not to listen to. Isn't that something? Well, anyway, dear friends, I want to thank you for this. Please go to WABC right now. I'm going to be on the air in about 5 minutes. I got to get some more Java, get some more coffee. But let me thank you for this. Thank you for always being a part of this. Always make sure you are subscribed to Lionel Nation. Remember, I'm just telling you the truth. Whatever the truth is, if methylene blue works or doesn't work, I'm going to tell you the truth. If eating bacon is terrible for you, I'm going to tell you the truth. You might not like it. You might like the way it tastes. You might hate me for the news. I'm going to tell you the truth. And I'm not going to tell you necessarily I like the truth. I'm not going to tell you that I like it. Sparky says, read those descriptions in 1920s newspapers about them. Well, remember one thing, Sparky. Just remember one thing. There are people in the world today who really are anti-Semitic. We know that. And there are people who are really racist. We know that. Father Coughlin, remember him? Remember that dude? But that doesn't mean that the information is wrong or that everything that has been said from and regarding them is wrong. You got that? All right, dear friends, we love you. Thank you so much. Don't forget, tune in 77 WABC. Brian Brizzen Himura says, just showing support. I have nothing today. Thank you. You always have something, Brizzen. Go to 77 WABC, 77 WABC, 77 WABC. I'm going to be up right now. Go to WABCradio.com or get the app and join us. Join us before this. And by the way, what I'm telling you, I have to tone it down because what I say to you now would make people drive off the road, because my main message is one of brutal honesty. Brutal, to the point where it hurts. And people don't want the truth. I've learned that. All right, dear friends, have a great and glorious day. Thank you so much for your kind words. We will talk to you later. I'm going to go right now, grab some Joe. Until then, my friends, remember, this is important, as we always end with this particular valedictory, the monkey's dead. The show's over, sue you. Dad, dad.